Yeah, do it, you bitch, do it. Why not? It's going to be incredibly short now. Thanks, OBS. So nobody's ever here at the start, but anyone who watches this back later, check this out. Watch what's going on here, watch. I can freeze, like, perfectly. Like, I can just stop in time. There you go. I could be a ventriloquist. I can talk without moving my mouth. The problem is, because OBS is a piece of shit and doesn't know how to work with some of the most simple devices in the land. And there's a reason I'm sat here, which again is the whole nobody's ever really around at the start of the stream thing, so I just fuck about at the start of the stream. And in this case I'm leaving this on because, well, I just went past the message, but you would have seen it. I guess you could skip back and see it if you didn't, but yeah, basically this machine thinks I changed the CPU, and that's because power's been turned off. It doesn't support this CPU, and of course this is a ward bias, so rather than handle that simply, it decides, oh no, I'm going to erase the whole fucking bias settings, and you have to go in and set everything up again. Howdy, lame guy. It's really silly. I don't know why it does that, but like I said, this is a ward bias. And you can't expect anything about a ward bias to make fucking sense. To be honest, AMI bias does that when well, even when it's not an overclock failed, it decides it is sometimes. It goes, overclocking failed, and then wipes the bias. It's like, well, why not just set the clock settings to default? Wouldn't that make more sense than fucking up my entire configuration? Either way, we're going to have to set this up first, which won't take very long, because at least in its defence it's not a particularly complicated bias. Oh yeah, also this version of the bias is broken. You can't set this shit up anymore. But you can sort of manipulate that with the plug and play settings. So I guess there's that. Okay, almost there. We have a plug and play OS. Yeah, that can be free. Don't assign interrupts for those. Shut down if it reaches 65 degrees, because there's probably a distance between the CPU and that thermal sensor. And I'll freeze in time again whilst I wait for the machine to start up. Oh, there we go, I just unfroze. Stream's probably only going to be about an hour long. It might have been an hour longer if it wasn't for OBS being stupid. But we've already established that OBS is fucking stupid. And where's my gamepad? Well, it's not just any gamepad, it's a gamepad! Because it shouts it. It's like, fuck yeah, this is a fucking gamepad! Howdy, serious cacodemon. But I mean, it is a 90s gamepad, so I guess it's trying to be like, you know, in your face and extreme and shit. I'm probably not going to use this gamepad actually, because it makes the game we're going to play even worse, and it actually seems to make it even less stable than it already is. And well, it's not a very stable game to begin with, so I don't really think we should be doing that to it. Why does that never feel like it's on properly? Oh, that sounded like I splayed it. That's making horrible noises. I guess we'll find out. Oh, the folder's already open. How convenient. Hang on a minute, let me just, let me have a look. I'll set this gamepad up, we can have a go at it. Oh, look at that. Why do that? That's silly. Why would I need to calibrate this? Why would the axis ever not line up? It's a fucking gamepad! You know what always pissed me off in this window? That you can't press finish with the gamepad or the joystick. Hey OBS, stop killing my camera. That camera's not going to work for this. But anyway, I suppose the most important thing about this stream is that it's not Banjo-Tooie, because I'm not going to... I want like hours and hours of time, and I can't mess my sleeping pattern up too much until next week, because my family's gone mental and actually invited me to one of their fucking things. And I never get to go to those for reasons, so yeah, I might come off my meds and just get drunk again, to be honest. Could be quite fun. Why is there no sound? Oh, it plays on this screen, okay. Yeah, this game's awful. I wouldn't get, like, excited about this. I'd rather play Arenas of Destruction, but it stopped working completely on here. And what's weird is you can sort of adjust the menu with the gamepad a little bit. But, you see, like... But it's not consistent. On the other end, I have to show this. Like, you want 60 Hz minimum? Fuck you. The pros do it at 0 Hz. That's how we're doing it now. If you can't game at 0 Hz, fuck you. You're a noob. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a competition. And we're going to start a new one. And there's no money cheat in this game. Hang on a minute. Fucking, well, we could buy a pre-existing robot, but the thing is, we're fucking poor fags, so we can't afford a competitor robot like Panic Attack from the TV show. We'd have to buy this thing. It's the only one we can afford. And it's pretty shite, so... What I suggest is building your own, which is also going to be shite, but you can at least get some cheap wins with it. Oh, yeah, this is the more balmy of the two. So what I'd recommend is doing the British thing and buying a wedge, because all British robots are wedges with flippers on, but you can't really do that very well in this game. And then what we're gonna... That actually tilts it, look at that. Completely broken. Yeah, howdy. Yeah, Marox, I guess I'd say. Yeah, we're gonna bodge the game a bit here, because I want 4 wheels, but I want my wedge on the floor, so... no, we're supposed to do it that way, so what you do is you do that, and then that. And it'll still tilt, because it's got bigger wheels at the back. I don't know if you're supposed to do that. Now, I am a firm believer in machinery, so I'm going to put petrol engines in here. They have information, but some things just have description instead of a description, or some shit like that written. Look at that. Slightly more reliable. So that's good. Well, we'll have 4 of those in there, lots of power. Flow cut, you see, that sounds like the petrol's going to cut off. Well, we're not going to have a self-righting mechanism, so the... so it's the best way I can think of be pronounced. Now, the something weird here is, if you have a robot with no armour defined, the game will put wood on it, but I seem to think it won't let you enter competitions unless you have put wood on it. So we're going to put fiberglass on it, because fuck using wood. And for scoops, well, we're going to put, for weapons we're going to put a scoop. I just spoiled that. This is the robot I build every time on this, because it works, and you'll see it gets cheap wins. So we're just going to put a lance on the back like that. No active weapons, and you'll see why soon. And how do you go back in a menu? Do you think you press escape? Fuck no, escape key does nothing. You got to press backspace, except at certain times. Also, you can't capitalise like, oh shit, would that work with the gamepad? It will. I'm genuinely surprised. It might sort of do it, but the thing is, you can't put capital letters in this. Surprisingly not as bad as you'd think. What should we call it? It has to start with a capital R, because we can never type another capital letter and it pisses off the inner grammar Nazi in me. Let's call it rubbish. Let's call it rubbish 1. Be cocky and be like, yeah, I'm going to have more robots, see, but... Oh yeah, notice that button light up under back? It doesn't do anything. Like, look, we can even click it. I don't understand why that happens. You can type with the keyboard. So there you go, it's rubbish 1. I'm not going to test drive it. You know, I might put wood on it at some point. That knocked the audio out. Probably just for me, I hope. Okay, we'll call him Pratt. I'm not silly. I understand the naming conventions. Now this alphabetises things. There you go. I'll put wood on it for now. We'll see what it does. I haven't used it in years, so I'll probably end up losing. I mean, it is cheaper. It must be good. There you go. It's made of wood. I'll tell you what. Oh, no. That's all we can put on there. Well, fuck putting that on. That's stupid. Bit like this game. You know, I dread to think what impression this is going to leave, so I imagine pretty much everyone who sees this now enough aren't going to be that familiar with the show, and you're going to get a really bad impression of what it was like. You'll be like, oh my god, that TV sure must have sucked balls. I can see why that's not on anymore. Well, it did end up sucking balls. Actually, in the series this was based on was where it really started going downhill. It sort of became Razor Wars for a while. That was horrible. Don't crash. Okay. It might crash any moment. I'll let Pierce introduce the arena to you and make myself a cigarette. I know I just finished one, but
there's the pitch opening mechanism.
You can never have too many cigarettes when this game's running. Oh shit, we actually got a real competitor robot in the arena. That isn't though, that's made for the game, Dexterous, that little round
bursts
thing.
Of flame occasionally from the flame grills. They can toast a robot if they get stuck there.
Where's my stuff? Oh, damn chest pain, what's that about?
Doesn't it always?
I got my fucking Robot Wars backpack. Just gonna fucking fix that shit. Got my fucking pencil case. I've still got the damn labels, man. I used to have remote control Matilda, I don't know where that went.
Get ready.
Yeah, I got my fucking... Where's my badge? My badge was in there. I know where I put it, my badge box. I still got the stationery in there.
Contender here. They think they have what it takes.
I do.
No real armour, leaving this robot very vulnerable. One of the least expensive robots in the competition, this one, but a great contender.
Alright, Jonathan, you don't have to tell everyone I'm Paul.
The scoop is, for those in the know, I think it's something special.
Oh, it is in this game. I'm going to be abusing that scoop until the very end.
An agile little robot, this, but don't be fooled. Dexterous is deadly.
I recorded a full Let's Play of this game and you're never going to see it because it's boring. You see this shitty robot that he's talking about now? You can still get drawn that in the final of the game, like, nothing ever changes, start to finish. There's like 8 arenas, one of them's fucking balmy.
3, 2, 1.
And that's it, let's try, I've never really gamepaded this. Oh man, I forgot how slow it was. OBS doesn't like it, fuck it, I'm not playing with that. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. Right, I'm going to play with the keyboard here. That's so unusable. It doesn't respond to analog sticks either, right. Oh dear. I don't think that wood was a good idea. Thanks, lame guy. You probably just lost me the fight. Come on, drive. Have I said... Or is this because I... Oh dear. We're going to have to reset the game, I think. Yeah, everyone's going to have more power than me because, like, I've just started and I've got, like, 4 people engines in my robot now. There you go. Panic attacks in. Now you see, the thing about using lances is they don't count as active weapons, and so only the scoop counts for repair of weaponry. The lances and shit, they get repaired automatically at the start of every fight without using repair points. And that's why we abuse the hell out of those. Because that fucking thing can get broken off, but it isn't going to make an ounce of difference. I don't like playing with this gamepad. I'm going to reset the game, like, whether I win or lose this event.
Activate! Let battle commence! Nearly onto the flame grill, look out! Keep away from the pit! Unless you've had enough of this fight.
And all we're going to do is shove robots down the pit. And what you do is you do that until the end of the game, and if you do it enough, you'll win.
Avoid those jaws at all costs. They can
Unfortunately, the competitors,
cease.
well,
And we
the
have
physics system sometimes breaks, but yeah, unfortunately, the AI tends to just go off and start fights with house robots for some reason. It just won't even acknowledge you. You can get in this weird state where your robot sort of doesn't exist.
Here we go.
And so if they're too far from a house robot to be aware of it, they won't even move. Even if you go up and start ramming into them, they won't do anything.
Activate.
Because the game doesn't know you're there.
Wars begin. Nearly onto the flame grill. Look out. In it comes.
But then at the same time, you can completely immobilise a competitor in this game and the fight won't end, so you're only real... Oh, they're more powerful than me. Shunt, I was nowhere near the CPZ. Yep, the robots in the corners are house robots. Holy shit, did Refbot go down the pit? That's awesome. Fuck you, Ref. Nobody likes a fucking Refbot. Unfortunately, he's on tracks, is this T-Rex piece of shit here, which is a made-for-the-game robot. And so he's always going to be able to push more than us. I don't think there's anything left to buy, to be honest. Go here, let's try and bug the AI in. Oh, what? What was that?
The spike piercing its target. Not much damage. It's made a start. Punching away at it with alarms. Not much damage this time. Have another go.
See, what I'll do when I reset is I'll actually load a save where I've completed the game, so that the fights are less slow and boring. That piano's going to block the pit, isn't it? The controls suck.
Cease. And we have a winner in this head-to-head game.
As you can see, it's clunky and it's really bad at the start because we actually took chassis damage in there. Because you have fuck all power, but the thing is, like I said, you're going to get drawn the same shitty made for the game robots all the way until the end of the game. Like, none of the robots in the arena right now are from the show. They're built for the game specifically, like in the game, and they're shite. And you'll just get drawn them until the end. Nothing will change. They never upgrade or anything, so... But, well, that's the end of that, I think. Yeah, it's my robot's evil twin. Well, that ended horribly. Right, well, here's what we're going to do. I think that establishes how horrible this is. So we'll make it slightly less horrible. Let me see. What have we got in here? Fuck me, that's a mess. I already called my save Pratt before. It's nice of it to tell me that I was using an existing name. Well, that should do it. Let's go back. Let's go in overpowered here. Show them who's boss of fucking robots. Yeah, my robot's called Rothschild. There was a reason for that they explained in the Let's Play, which is basically you will let me win, or else I'll, you know, remember that loan you took out to start this show.
There's the pathway to oblivion, right under that innocent-looking panel.
I will close your bank account down.
Get ready for some frantic action. A 5 horsepower 4-stroke petrol engine. Robot is ready.
Also, it's 3 EB, so
2.
it's Pentium 3. You know.
Activate. Ready?
Right, that's better.
Steady. Cease.
Just bug the physics engine out, and it'll do the job. I actually thought I'd gone out of the wall for a minute. You go over the wall, that was a thing that happened in the show, but obviously couldn't go through. Well, there was a robot from Hull that broke the wall.
Robot is ready.
So there is that, I suppose.
2, 1. Activate. Let the wars begin.
Oh yeah, that has a flipper on it. I mean, it's called Flip and Drill. What did we think it was going to do? Right, see the thing you want to do? Up in the damn pit, where is the fucker? Unless you play this, you can't know how bad it controls. And the thing is, I built a combat robot years ago, and it didn't control like this game, but that's probably because it had speed control. Well, it was petrol, so it had servos to control the throttle, but you could control the speed rather than it just going full speed as soon. Man, the AI's stupid sometimes. So yeah, as you can see, really not the best quality.
It's Robot Wars, and we're looking for some carnage today. Welcome to
Come on, camera, work up.
got into this robot, as you can see.
Work
Powered
up.
by a 5-horsepower,
Work up.
4-stroke petrol
Work
engine.
up.
Covered in light but hard titanium. Amazing.
Yeah,
Robot
it does that
is
sometimes.
ready. 3, 2, 1.
Oh man,
Activate. Let the wars
I've got hair
begin.
stuck under my skin.
Getting too close to that drop zone. Remember, X marks the spot, chat.
Get the axe going because it can't move. What do you think my scoop? Like, remember when we said it's technically an active weapon? Well, there is a key to use it, which is right shift. So I'll press that and see what the scoop does. Absolutely nothing, but it makes horrible noises. Ah, now you see, that's because I'm moving fast, so I shouldn't say I predicted I was going to go in his CP set. Oh, Raph, go in the pit. Ah! Okay. I'll settle for that. What a fucking disaster. No competitor robots again, I notice. Absolutely none.
Robot is ready.
Pretty terrible.
3, 2, 1. Activate. Let the war.
Craptivate. Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay, we'll fuck around with them for a while. Well, maybe. I don't imagine this game will be that interesting, is why I'm not going to bother with the Let's Play of it. Now, that robot there that I just tipped over, it's another made-for-the-game robot. Refbots AI doesn't know what to do because I'm sat here. So it's an invertible chassis like mine, but the game isn't aware of that when the AI controls it, so... yeah. Also, Plough King, that Killwat's playing with, as you can see, has a big flat top on it, but for some reason in this game you can't flip that robot over. I mean, you can flip it over, but it just sort of rolls back onto its tracks. But if you build an exact copy of it, it won't be that. This little round one's a bit of a bastard because it runs on the ground, so it's hard to get underneath, because obviously I'm on tracks, so my robot rides a bit higher. Well, I suppose we'll open the pit and start getting rid of them before we run out of time, because it doesn't matter what you do, you'll never win on a judge's decision in this game. Just like the real fucking judges in the show. They're full of shit. Oh, that wasn't meant to happen. Yeah, definitely going to have to start getting rid of them now. Oh no, that's not good. I need that out of there. That's not going to come out of there, is it? Oh no, the house robots never attack each other that I'm aware of. I've never seen it happen in this. But there was an episode where Bash decided to chase after the ref, largely because the fight was boring, so they had a bit of a spat just to get the audience entertained. Ah, the AI sucks. We're going to lose if I don't get rid of them. See, Cloud King's probably immobile now. No, sort of work up. Oh, almost chucked it out the arena on just brute force. Oh, I hate Switchblade, man. It's so hard to shove around. Just ride up on top of it. Get out my way, Shun. Get out my way, Shun. Get out my way. Oh no, I'm not losing the judges. Fuck that. I'm going to cheat. But it's a bit difficult to type the cheat codes in because of input lag. Howdy, Junkyard W. Holy crap, that actually flipped. That never happens. No, leave it alone. Get it. I want it counted out. Out my way, ref. Now, the ref bot will try to kill you in this game for some reason. I don't really understand why, but he'll just charge across the arena and ram into you. I wouldn't say it was that extreme, Jonathan, but... Look, stop trying to cover the pit up. You're going down it one way or another. God, how many drops are there? Could you crash the game if there was enough of those loaded in, I wonder? Audience is booing. Oh look. It's impossible to push robot. It's impossible to flip as far as I know. It's too low for me to really get a grip on. The controls suck. What do you want me to do with it? Good. That's not good. That's really not good. And the AI's fucking busted in this thing. Like I say, unless you play this, you can't know how fucking bad it is to control. You know what? I'll just completely wreck them, I guess. Oh man, I can't remember the stuff that was in BattleBots, man. The formula of that show is just, I have no idea what's going on half the time. It's like, there was a fight! Okay, cool, there was a fight, let's see it then. Here's some clips and we're never going to talk about it again. Oh, okay, well, now watch. Go to commercials!
Only one can win, and it's their turn today. Well done for a well-fought Annihilator round.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know which one you're on about. So we never got a crossover between the two shows, and that was a shame, because it would have been quite fun. Oh no, I've put that down on my one working floppy disk. That's going to condensate it to death by now, but it's not like I really give a fuck who uses floppy disks. Alright, what should we do? Because you see, the thing is, at this point you've basically seen the whole game. It never really changes. There's an error of 4 while that comes up. Ah, cool. Howdy, Kynakos, if you can see this. Oh, fucking Gotex, waste the fucking time. I had one. But, yeah, that... not impressed. The HXC one's even worse, because that's oh, fuck. Now you see, there's only one thing we can do here, and that's to actually shut the machine off and start again. And we have to do it that way specifically, because otherwise the machine will just blue screen on us. It might get stuck here. It's not very stable, this game. Yeah, the machine's completely frozen, but we've at least got it into a state where the drive's not been written to. Yeah, well, have fun with the fucking tools to prepare the flash drive, and have fun when the flash drive breaks a couple of months down the line, and have fun when you plug a new flash drive in and the floppy emulator just dies on you. Also have fun learning that it can only do 1.4 meg MS-DOS formatted images as well, and that there's no way to access them on the flash drive other than through a floppy emulator. Like I say, in defence of the Gotek, at least they're relatively cheap. They're that fucking expensive. When I had one of those, I returned it because it wasn't any better than the Gotek, but it was complicated to use, and it claimed to do a bunch of shit that it just didn't do. But then it's the same with the Gotek. People, oh, you can put these in here, put them in as this fucking Akai sampler, like fuck you can. And even then, Akai's disk writing tools don't work. Fucking stupid Akai. I wonder if it'd work in a DX7. But I mean, the floppy drive in that thing's useless anyway, because you can't really use it. Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting. If I try to, like, if I click the taskbar and drag, even though the taskbar doesn't drag that way, it'll snap back to the bottom. It's almost like it's a remnant of when you could position it anywhere on the screen, like a window in Windows Chicago. It was kind of neat. I can see why they got rid of it, but at the same time, I kind of like the, you know, I kind of like the thing of you can just stuff the taskbar in the middle of the desktop. Well, whatever works, really, at the end of the day. Is, you know, I suppose it doesn't really matter what the machine is, as long as it's doing the thing it's supposed to do. Of course, I'm weird and I tend to go at things with probably less power than I should a lot of the time, so this is a rare exception where kind of overpowered to hell instead of underpowered for once. You know, usually I'll do shit like, oh, I'm going to play Grand Theft Auto on a 66 MHz Pentium, that's the bare minimum it says on the box. And it's going to run at like 12 frames a second, but that's alright, I don't mind, I'll take 12 frames a second, at least it's running. Howdy, Nintendo. See, I want to play Arenas of Destruction, but the thing about Arenas of Destruction is it doesn't fucking work anymore. It's just broken, and I don't understand why, and a long time ago, but it's not really useful in this case. I mean, you're not going to get any difference out of the gamepad. The controls in this game are just horrible. You know, it supports the gamepad from the get-go, but the controls are just bad. And it only supports digital input, which, like I said, annoys me. It's like, you know, I've built a combat robot, I know how it handled, and this game doesn't handle like that. And so that kind of annoys me as well, because I sort of know how it should handle. And a lot of that came from the fact that you could control the speed of things on that. It's like, oh, I want my left wheels to not spin at full speed, just don't push the stick all the fucking way. But no, I'm on the Athlon today. So it's a rare exception of being overpowered, instead of woefully underpowered. Right, well, a lot of our problem with that crash would have come from the fact that for some reason... Oh no, it's loaded the wrong save. For some reason, that level in particular that we tried to go on is really unstable. The game tends to crash there more often than anywhere else. I don't know why. this is a cracked copy, so as not to run with the CD, but before anyone says anything about that, that makes as near as no difference. In fact, on my Duron I couldn't even enter this stage. Unless I had the ATI Radeon 9.2 in there, it just didn't want to know on the GeForce 4 I had at the time. But on the Radeon I used to get this green shimmering effect on things. So... a lot of problems with this game. Well, this isn't the Duron. That Duron, that thing was fucking brilliant. I liked the Duron, they were really cheap.
Things to watch out for in this arena include the Steam Cat.
It used to be like
Robot Wars, and we're
fucking
looking at carnage today.
what, £1 per 100 megahertz the Duron for a good while.
Ready. 3, 2.
Yes, the sellers in that fucking time period were just fucking awful. Oh no, he didn't touch it. Uh-oh, there's a flipper in here. That's bad news for me. Because the last thing you want is your tracks come off the ground. You really want tracks if you go on this level. Oh, Matilda, I was nowhere near you. Leave me alone. I'm not in the CPZ. I never was in the CPZ. And I know somebody's going to notice the inconsistency, like, you usually say Z. Yes, I do, but they called it CPZ on the show, so that's what we'll call the corner patrol zones. Now we're going to abuse that. Do not touch that, do not touch that. No, I don't want to get flipped in this level. But the robot runs both ways. Yeah, sure it does. But, holy shit, like... I've pressed the depth chances. Has nobody gone out of the ring yet? These are wheeled robots. They should be getting knocked all over by that shit. Well, there goes one of them. That one's dead, I think, but good luck having it counted out. Oh no, shouldn't get off me. Why aren't the physics going fucking balmy?
What are they doing? That's just suicide, boys! Here he comes again!
Don't leave me alone, you bastard!
Tremendous charge now, speeding across the arena. It's made a good start.
You know what this calls for? Brute force and fucking ignorance. No, kill a lot, leave me alone.
Cease! This one's a real survivor. Look out for this one going all the way.
It's a fucking mess, this game. I'm just gonna go straight for the depth charges this time. Hopefully nobody manages to come up behind me and lift my robot up. Because I'll be in trouble if they do, because then I'm at the mercy of the physics system, and the physics system is a little bit balmy in this level.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Oh yeah, the text lags like a stage behind like that sometimes. Only on Wednesdays. Oh no, that's got a flipper on it. That's a tracked robot, which is actually a problem for me, because it's not as susceptible to this break the physics system tactic that I want to use. Sorry about the obnoxious noise. Oh no! Well, they're all on tracks, these ones. I can mute the input if you want me to stop that horrible noise, by the way, so let me know. Because that's not going to go away until the round's over. Now these, the problem with these, they're very difficult to push. Indeed, but I don't know if I'm going to be winning this, because I've jumped straight into... oh dear. That thing's a fucking lawnmower on. Look at that piece of... well, Redbot's driven down the fucking pit. That's good, nobody missing. Ah, come on, you bastard. My robot enlarged by having lots and lots of power. And nothing else. It kind of does. Did you see how the interface actually collided with the robot there? That's the thing, it can happen. That used to happen in TV show as well, like, you know, the fucking, like, fight schedule had come on and things would just start getting knocked over in the arena and shit. Obviously not. But it does rely on certain aspects of how the game works. Largely that for some reason this certain combination of drives and tracks results in things going ridiculously fast and seemingly having damn near unlimited power. Spikes aren't classed as active weapons, so breaking those off doesn't contribute to these repair points. These drives and engines almost never need repair points. And I can run this chassis both ways up, so essentially it's a cheap win robot, and it's a design that I discovered by accident many years and I've won consistently with in this game. Although as I'm British, I really should build a wedge with a flipper on it, but you can't really do that in this game in the way you would have done in reality. Because flippers in this are these weird sort of things that stick out the front. The robot that I'm fighting has one. The only ones that aren't like that are the competitor robots, of which we'll be lucky to see any. See, it wasn't overpowering me, I'm just really nervous because of the fact that there's no speed control and the physics are so weird in this stage that if I just shove on the gas, I'm probably going to drive straight underneath him and into that pit. If you can get objects in there to hit the missiles that are in there, they will just explode perpetually. And obviously will start impacting the frame rate. It's just giving me a load of tracked robots today. It's like the game knows what I want to do to win. You know, using those depth charges and just letting the physics system knock them out. I told you, it's the cheap win machine, this thing. That's all it does, it does cheap wins from start to finish. Because why would you build a complex robot that does all kinds of cool shit when you can just rely on how terrible the game is and let it fuck itself up? Let's go up to, like, you know, basically what's the last shit in the game. General Pandemonium. You see, that makes me think of General Carnage, and as far as I'm aware, I'm basically only a couple of streets away from where they used to, like, live. Fucking... Let me see. What should we do? These don't have... That's that level I like. Do these have restrictions? No, it doesn't. This arena's kind of cool, but we don't get to see much of it because most of the fights in this arena in the game have, like, oh, you can only use taser weapons and what, you know, electric weapons, and the AI robots will slap a taser on. You can never move, and so you're going to lose to the judges regardless anyway. The timer runs out and you lose. It's basically a bit like fighting Razor, only instead of a crusher, it's some fantastical taser weapon that was obviously never in the show. There's a few cheap ways you can... Oh, Dominator 2, that's actually a real competitor robot from the show. And always kind of underrated in my opinion. They went up against Hypnodisc in Series 5, which this game's based on, which turned out to be one of the most boring fights in the series, largely because of Hypnodisc's legendary cowardice. If I can get over that, there we go. Oh shit, the camera flipped and now I'm lost. If we park here, we can basically just shove this piece of shit made for the game robot straight back in. And depending on which one's closest to the centre will depend which one comes out. And so you can sort of rig it sometimes even by just pushing a barrel in there that they'll never get out and eventually it'll kill them. But yeah, anyway, Dominator 2, they came back in like Extreme 2. And basically just went straight for Hypnodisc, like, definitely remembered it. It's kind of funny to watch when you sort of know what all the fights were. You see them just orienting towards it before the fight. Like, ah, fuck you. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I preferred the overly Britishised fucking scrap heap challenge, but you know, they weren't inherently dissimilar shows. You don't get shit like that on TV, or at least not over here. You don't get shit like that on TV anymore. It's a shame. There you go. You see, despite all the work I did, I come last with the judges, which is fine. I'm going through to the next round, but notice where I sit on the board here. I don't have as much points as the other fucking piece of shit made for the game robot there, because the judges are actually accurate. Oh, you can change the camera. You use numeric 1 and 2 to do that. I was sure it had a flip look behind robot button, but it doesn't. I thought that was 0, so I don't know why. I think that. There was some other game I played.
Yet so far, this robot thinks it can go all the way. Who am I to argue? 5. Robot is ready. 3,
2, 1. Activate! It's weird why they couldn't get Oliver Stewart to do the voice for that in this game. I don't understand what the deal was with that. Maybe he didn't want to do it, maybe he saw the... Thanks, physics system. By the way, I wasn't pushing forwards there. I was actually, like, I sort of nudged the time key that... I'm on petrol. Realistically, that should have just outright killed my robot. Where is everybody? Are they starting fights with the house robots again? Probably were. Oh, well, that's a bit of a boring victory. Let's try and push him on the belt. Yeah, you see, it's weird. They have no flipper yet. They have this means of flipping themselves back. No, kill a lot. You don't do. He just fucking fried himself.
Is that damage there? The launch on target. Not much damage, but it's made a start.
Where's the belt pulling it? There we go. Really?
Cease.
It's so broken. It's so fucking broken. See this? When I start playing Banjo-Tooie, probably next week, I'm gonna enjoy it so much more because I'm thinking like, I could be playing fucking Robot Wars, Extreme fucking Destruction. Oh god, we've got another actual real competitor robot. Now you see, when it worked Wheelie Big Cheese, it was really impressive, but it only worked like once.
Ready? Steady. Charge!
Fucking physics system. Oh yeah, that effect on my paint from driving in the water is permanent until this event ends. I don't like fighting flippers. It's annoying. I wonder how many wedge-shaped robots have been named after cheese-themed stuff over the years.
Or they didn't get enough power behind it. Lifting weapons ideal for pushing things around, although it helps if you can find a way to damage them.
Right, where are they?
So keep looking, boys.
Right, don't want to drive up the front of them because that's where the fucking flipper is.
I don't think the spike did much good that time.
Well, doesn't have a flipper now. Shunt, what are you doing to me? Fuck you. Oh jeez, that must have been hell.
For a shunting, barely a scratch caused with that attack. It gets cease.
That broke way faster than it should have done. Holy fuck, is this event not over? But as you can see, repair points never get used up by my spikes or anything. So we're just gaming the game. Cooper, you see, Cooper is the name of the people that sure fell into the hands of. Don't have good connotations there. Now, you know.
2, 1. Activate.
But then the show still doesn't to me. I'm still bitter that they fucking never acknowledged my application all them years ago. I was ahead of my time. I'm a little bar spinner before anybody knew what bar spinners were. And it would have probably failed horribly. It doesn't matter. Hey, cheap victory. Oh, by the way, I think the system prioritises grabbing your robot, so that should keep them in there a bit longer. You can actually use this to your advantage if you want to take risks. So this is how you win cheaply in this arena. I've no idea if Pierce's commentary is interfering with my voice. Nobody's complained, so I'm not going to turn it off. Oh yeah, my tracks are going to show red. Just ignore that. It doesn't mean anything. I think it's just because I'm driving the hell out of them so much that the game doesn't really... That wasn't what I pressed. Get me out of here! I use my own tactic against me. If it wasn't such a difficult one to push, I would probably go shoving it in the welding arms. Okay, Shunt, get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Eat spikes. Oh no. Oh no. That isn't what I wanted. At least they're going to get welding armed a little bit by that. Shouldn't fuck off. Just attack the shelves. I'm not worried about losing a fucking lance. It'll fix itself. Oi, I'm over here. Attack me. Come on, we haven't got that long left in this fight. See where the welding arm goes. Does it go for me or does it go for them? I don't know, but Shunt seems to think I'm in his CPZ when I'm not. Get off me. Get off me. I think my engine just fell out. That can happen in this game. Okay, I need to end the fight fast. I don't know that I can do that because I just don't really have a good way of shoving them and they don't seem interested in fighting me, they just want to play with Shunt. I'm probably going to time he's on my side again at this rate. Oh no, they seem to have woken up. Okay, fucking camera system. Get off me, Shunt. Oh, the controls suck! The controls really suck. Oh no, I'm not losing the fucking judges. Bollocks and cars, let's leave it to the judges. Let's see who's done the most damage and the most fucking wacky to win the fight. Because I know my money would be on. Like, let's see, one robot max armor. Oh, of course. The robot that has all its armor on and everything has lost. Because bullshit. It's just like the real judges in the show. Hey shit man, you'd think we were fighting fucking Razor or something. Fucking things like that happening. See, I don't know, like, you know, how familiar you are with fucking Robot Wars, right? But I'll teach you now how to troll Robot Wars fans. What you do is you go up to them, and you can always ask them, like, you don't even need to know fuck all about these robots to do this. But there's two things you can say, and it depends on the Robot Wars fan. What you can do is you go, Tornado won, they innovated, Razor had a long time to answer to that thing because they'd already fought before that battle. Fuck you, get over it. Or you can go up and go, hey, Tornado sucks balls and they cheated. Razor's the fucking best. Fuck you, get over it. And they get kind of angry. Like, if you just want to troll all of them, just go, hey, Typhoon 1, fuck you. Then they'll get mad. Yeah, Hypnodisc. You see, Hypnodisc was a good robot, but the team sort of grated on me over time, because they just kept being really cowardly. A fight I was on about where they just ran away for like the whole fight. It was probably the most boring fight in the whole show. what should we do here? You see, there's the thing, like, I'm going to go in arcade mode, because there's no point in me saving that. It doesn't make an ounce of difference. There's other game modes, like, we do get Mad Bomber in some of those events in the game, which obviously is the thing that's for the game. This is going to take a long time, I apologise. You're going to see all my old shit from previous save games. We're going to have to do that every time, by the way. Oh god, it's fucking unloaded my save again. But yeah, Mad Bomber is, that does come up. But there's modes that never do, like the Sumo never does, and that used to be a fucking staple of the actual show. Oh god, I hate full body spinners, they're horrible to fight.
5 horsepower, 4-stroke petrol engine.
Yeah, you see, Chaos 2 was alright, but I still think Pussycat should have got it in the Series 4 final. It was very close. That's going to be one of the best fights ever there, because that was down the fucking wire.
Ready. 3, 2, 1.
Pussycat was an awesome example of how driving is a large part of... Oh, the AI's timed itself off, apparently. Oh, you're going to get cock-blocked by trains, by the way. Oh, shit. No, I don't want bombs! Get away from me! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! No, I'm pressing forward, don't spin! Shut, you get off my case. Matilda, you get off my case. No! Stop putting bombs on me! I need to try and get it in shot when it goes off, because it actually does look kind of cool. Oh, get out of my way! Get out of the way! It's gone up now! There you go. But yeah, Pussycat was a really good example of how, you know, it shouldn't have been as effective as it was, but you had Dave Gribble fucking driving it, who unfortunately died, but Dave Gribble could drive, like, that guy could sort of knock individual bolts out of things, with that fucking irritating little saw. It was really cool. I don't know, man. There's far worse things to play against in this game. That was very close. Another couple of frames had passed and it would have given me the bomb. But you know, in this game my design relies on pushing things around. It's a push bot, and so when I go up against a full body spinner, I'm essentially having to push a weapon that's round and it's hard to push. Especially with a broken physics system. I mean, in reality, it'd probably be okay, because the scoop would likely deflect a lot of the impact, and you'd just end up taking its wheels off the ground and pushing it on. It'd probably bed into the floor, because the floor was made of wood. So you'd end up sort of, you know, just scooping a huge fucking line of wood off the edge of their fucking weapon. But yeah. It does have capture the flag in the thing as well. I want to go in the other arenas, fuck this. We can do that. I think if I load and then save, it should cause that to think the game's in this state rather than that one. Don't ask me how it works. Maybe it saves in like a directory called default or something and copies the current game state there, and that's what it references. I'm not sure. I'll do a capture the lag just to demonstrate how it works. This is going to be fucking painful. It's about as long whichever way you go. By the way, if you rename your robot, even with the incorrect case, to anything that is actually in here, then it will... Like Jonathan Pierce in the game will read the description for that robot instead of yours. Capture the lag in the Tokyo rooftop, why not? I won't be streaming too much longer, this is literally just a holdover. It's given us a bunch of competitor robots again, I'm surprised. So Crasher, that's, and Beckatron, those are shitty made for the game robots. Now Behemoth over there, that was one of my favourite robots in the show. Probably had the worst look of fucking anyone. Although they did... Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. They did beat Hypnodisc once, though, in Extreme 1, the Challenge Belt. And in my opinion should have beaten Razor twice. They should have definitely won the Fast World Championship because there weren't actually any pinning rules then. But the thing about Razor is they kind of liked it, and so they just like, oh no, stop pinning them, send shunting to make them leave it alone. It's like Razor relies on pinning to win. How is that fair? So they really should have been world champions on that, but yeah, I don't know. It crashes a lot, that game. I honestly just expect it. I'm amazed it took that long. ISO's earning shit there. No sites last forever and things always resurface down the line. I'm more annoyed by EMU Paradise leaving its pages up for every fucking ROM that it used to host and then just whining, we don't host, we do it. It's like, well, take the fucking page down then and stop polluting the search results. How about Google just unlist the fucking site already? What purpose does it have now? Better, how about the site owner just shut it down? Just replace it with one page saying, yeah, I'm a bollockless guy anyway, so, you know, whatever, fuck off. But no, I'm not going to do that, because all those... I bet if I turn my ad blocker off, those pages will be laden with the fucking things. I bet you any money is making fucking money off of that. Fucking dickhead. It's times like that where I just wish I had a botnet or I had access to like really fucking level fucking zero internet so I could just disconnect that shit and nobody ever had to see it again. Just pull a fucking plug somewhere, take an axe to an exchange. There you go. Piss in the goddamn switch cabinet. Get rid of that. That's never going to fucking be online again. Fuck you. But no. So we have to put up with these things. You know, I could just play something better. Why am I fucking hurting myself? I mean, we could play something fucking worse. We could play Silent Hill 2. That would fucking annoy me. But fuck that, I'm not that fucking stupid. I'm not playing that. I fucking hate that game. And one of the reasons I hate that more is because where Robot Wars Extreme Destruction's just blatantly shit, Silent Hill 2, you're constantly reminded of, hey, this game could have been great, there's some really brilliant ideas here, but we fucking wasted them and made the game even less fucking stable than Robot Wars Extreme Destruction. It's fucking brilliant. Robot Wars D-Stream Excretion. Fucking piece of shit fucking game. Now, which state are we in this here now? Let's see. I wanted to do capture the lag, didn't I? This is gonna... something's gonna go wrong, you just know it is. Let's go backwards, it seems to be a little bit faster. Shame it doesn't have online multiplayer, really. I dread think how broken that would have been, but I would love to have tried it. Well, let's not go to Tokyo. I dread to think. That arena's tiny, this will be absolutely fucking disastrous. Why do I feel like it's going to crash again? See, it's not my computer crashing, it's the fucking game. This Athlon's actually reliable, which is weird as shit. What the fuck is the flag doing up there?
The crusher isn't easy to escape from if you end up there.
But yeah, Athlons aren't usually reliable when I've built them, so I don't know why this one is, but I'm not going to argue with it. And it's really annoying, because it's all the hardware I wanted back then and couldn't afford or couldn't get hold of. And it's like, yeah, if I'd owned that, it would have been fucking great.
Another robot hoping for results here today, and in with a good chance. Robot is ready!
This entire game is fucking physics-defying.
1.
Physics don't apply in the world of Robot Wars, they actually kind of do.
And a serious loss as the torch cutter breaks off.
Well, whoever lost that, Scragger, I think it was. Right now, you could just sort of run away. Ah, panic attack. If you were a Series 2 machine, you should have stayed there. Oh no. No, let me out. Where's that flag? I'm coming to get it back. Whoa! What the fuck was that? Why do I feel like I've been bullied by house robots here? Where's that flag? I need it. Revolutionist, I'll give you a fucking revolution. I told you it'd be a disaster in this big theory. Matilda, I know I know you. Will you stop attacking me? Why have I been bullied by house robots? This shit's rigged. It's just like the real fucking show was at this time. Sometimes it was. Ah, that's my property. Give me it back. Hey, what's this? Oh, it didn't work. Ah, there we go. Now you'll never get me. Oh, no, 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 don't do that. There we go.
And they grip, and they squeeze, but the damage... It's made a good start. It's beginning to cause some damage. Here comes the lance again. Destruction and mayhem. This carnage! And the impact causing some real damage. This stuff cease! The mayhem is over! And we have a capture the flag winner! Well played!
Capture the lag. That's how you do that shit. I always remember that belt being lower, like it actually been a ramp down into that area. I don't know why. Yeah, it kind of does look like some evil little bug that you'd see crawling around in a grimy kitchen, doesn't it? When I had a self-righting arm on it, it kind of looked like a scorpion, but that just sort of broke it. And there was a robot called Scorpion that sort of looked a bit like one, and was made out of fiberglass or something and set fire, from what I remember. I mean, it didn't set fire as good as Deator. I still have a bunch of that black and red polka dot material. It's over there holding my fucking surfer together. I won't just buying this huge wad of it, like, yeah, there, I'll have some of that. You know, fucking Peter Redmond says, oh, well, it said no flamethrowers in the rules, so I thought I'd cover my robot with fire and it'd be safe. It's like, I don't know why, but especially given it was coated in fire gel, I kind of get the impression he thought there was no flamethrowers because it said, but he sure as shit hoped there would be, is the impression I always got. I mean, I guess we'll never know, but... Sumo! See, in the competition mode in this game, this game mode is never used. And this used to be a staple of the show in earlier series. It sort of started disappearing Like, it got toned down a bit in Series 3 and 4, but... Why do I always go past it? Ah, now, you want to see some broken shit? Here we go. I'll probably be ducking out of here in like half an hour or something, because I'm going to have to go to sleep. I can't fuck my sleeping pattern until after, like, the weekend, really.
This robot, not the toughest contender.
I want to go to that damn party.
Robot is ready. 3.
And probably end up getting disowned for another 10 years.
Activate. Ready for action. Cease.
That piece of shit beat me. It's got no power at all. Notice how the sumo ring is off the floor.
Robot is ready.
I don't understand why. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they just slapped it in there and didn't have time.
Activate. Let the warp cease.
That's how we do sumo. Now here's the thing. When you press that, it's always going to give you the same fucking fight, so you'd have to go out and go through all the menus again to fight a different robot. And it's annoying, because I'd love to just sit here and stack sumo after sumo up, but
no sign of the tussle breaking,
you can't.
So it's down to a judge's decision now.
I don't know how well, I know it managed to push me. My tracks went off the floor. You can have as much fucking power as you want, but I mean, my robot's quite lightweight, and if the tracks aren't touching the ground, that power's not going to do anything. It just becomes an 85 kilo dead weight at that point. That mode's shit, we're not even going to bother with that. We'll do this mode. This mode's a bit broken, but it's another one that never comes up in the fucking thing. And this was never in the show, but it would have actually been kind of neat, I think. The idea had potential. I'd love to see them just put a bunch of robots in the ring with a bunch of busted up appliances and like, there you go, destroy them. We'll award points to whoever does the most damage. Yeah, no, I've never done that in this arena. I could just whack the airlock and see what that does, but I don't think it'll do that. That suck everything out that it does in the competition one.
Collateral damage time here on Robot. This one's a 5 horsepower 4-stroke. Robot is ready.
Panzer, that's from the American series. I think it was on Robotica as well.
Activate.
Yeah, that sure died too young. Get off of these. I'm going to get the points. None of you are going to get the points. I will get them. Move out of my way. Who will get points for that? It doesn't seem to be me. Oh shit. Not my battery, I'm petrol. No! Don't go in there!
Who's the main course? Pushed into Sergeant Flash! It could be toast! And into Sir Killalot CP's...
Ah, that's where shit controls will fuck you over.
There we go! And that's terminal to their chances here. The Clipper just aiming to get underneath.
The camera's still in I'm in the airlock mode. I think I've lost this fight. Oh, the controls. Just because of all the inaccuracies in the floor. The little imperfections. It fucks up my controls. My robot gets stuck because it's so damn flat. Can I have the camera back, please? I don't think there's anything left to break. Oh, let's just hit the anti-gravity. I've got a recording of my robot going through the floor. There's actually a huge structure under there that you can never see. 0 fucking points, you must be joking! I told you this mode was broken. I mean, I definitely broke things. This game's a fucking wreck.
3, 2, 1. Activate. Let the war begin. The Kennedy flywheel on the attack again.
Get off me. I'll just drive around with you parked on top of the robot bash. It makes no odds to me. Controls, they suck. Now I'm fucking high-centered. Drive, you piece of shit. Oh, my engine fell out. I don't know. I can't see any reason that they would have ever had you to drive down there. It doesn't look like it should have been used. I really don't know.
3, 2,
I'll upload the footage sometime, unlisted, and I'll link it. Because I don't think I could trigger that bug to go off on purpose if I tried. There's probably just one little tiny Vartus that you have to drive on in like a really specific way that I'll never be able to do again. See, because the floor's not flat, can't drive, well, shit. That pens a fuck off. There we go. Now we're high-centered again. Oh, who did that? Not much point trying to drive like this because of the dome.
It's heading for a collision. In comes the disc of destruction. Just slot the flipper under it and do its worst. Over it goes.
Come on, give me the camera. Thank you. What the fuck is that? Let no this get away from me. Okay, I've destroyed everything. Give me the win, man. Oh, fuck off. I'll drive in that, just for the sake of it, why not? I never noticed the TVs up there.
And they just don't have enough points to take the win, but I'm sure we have a future winner
What?
here from that performance.
You're going to tell me this mode isn't broken? That's probably why they never put it in. 0 fucking points. Oh, the physics in this are fucking legendarily bad. If I could play Arenas of Destruction, I would have done, because it works slightly better. But the interface on that one's really bad. It's difficult to use. As I'm running out of time, I think what I'm going to do is I'll do like one more event. Just because. And then I'm probably going to have to call it a night. This shit. I really want to play on this arena before I call it quits. This arena's weird because it's the only arena in which you can damage the house robots. Well, seemingly, like, they will start to emit smoke, and I've seen them stop working.
These giant rusty doors hide a sinister secret. The giant missile inside lies dormant, but it's still as deadly as ever. The switch for the missile
it causes a lot of
cores
lag.
is hidden up on the roof of the silo control building. Will anyone reach it? Keep clear of the CPZs. Very dangerous to stray too close.
Trying to cut down smoke in this game doesn't help me any.
Mines are buried everywhere along the inside of the fence. You can see the warning signs there.
I don't care about warnings.
And get ready for some melee mayhem. Well, the name says it all. Expect General Pandemonium.
General Carnage.
Not to be taken lightly. Powered by
Hey,
robots
General Carnage is the only whole robot to get past the first round. And it lost to a robot which at the time was like the third place robot, I guess. So kind of respectable as far as shit from Hull goes. I don't think it would have been fun to do the full Let's Play I recorded though. Like, I'm never going to use that. Unless I'm really... Yeah, I don't know in that. I'm just trying to like the game now. Yeah, any weapon that has a motor in it is a chainsaw to this game. tip you over, revolutionist. Fucking full body spinners, that's a coward's way of fighting. Actually, it's a pretty neat way of doing things, because as long as the weapon's running, the only thing your opponent can contact is a damn weapon. It's actually a nifty idea. But I like bar spinners better. As I said, I built a bar spinner years ago, and it was scary. I don't think I'd stand there and test it now. I was kind of young and irresponsible at the time. Oh yeah, I've got this 5 kilo fucking bar here. What? My engine just fell off. Oh, that was crooked. Oh yeah, that's stuttering in the sound, it does that, ignore it. That means it's running perfectly fine. This is awful, this is all kinds of awful. Oh, speaking of third place robots, we've got Firestorm in here. They came third a hell of a lot.
3.
Nah, it's... Occasionally the engine falls off like that, I don't know why. I'm going to attack this weakling piece of shit, and then I'm going to go after Firestorm. Hey, Firestorm flipped Mr. Psycho over, it can't be that bad. Fucking, just cause the floor's not even, right? Ah, yeah, fuck you. Oh, they will be in a minute. God, park on that mine, I dare you. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm stuck here now. Good. Go on, pincer me, I dare you. That's why I dare you. My robot's got more power than yours, now I'm just going to drive it wherever I want to. Smile if you want to. Smile if you want to. But I'm going to party. I'm needing the party. You got you a partner, and that's alright, because I got me a partner in Colorado to not have. Oh, I never could make out the words to that song. It sounded like something about Colorado anyway. It always seemed weird to me. I don't know why Colorado specifically. That's very varied terrain as far as I know. I don't see what that has to do with partying.
Buzzing closer, the chainsaw looking for opportunity to see some action.
Ah, you see, this is you can't drive in a straight line. Firestorm's almost dead. The frame rate's gonna hell. It's about to get a whole lot worse. Unless I look away from that. That's slipping directly into it. Ah, what the hell was that? It's not going to plan. It's all going wrong. Okay, one more time. I'm definitely going to have to shut this soon, but... At least now I've played this game on this channel, I wanted to do it in some capacity, but like I say, I figured a full Let's Play is just boring, because the game doesn't change start to finish. The arenas change, but like I say, those robots we had in the first round we played, you can get drawn those in your last fight, still. And they never upgrade or anything. It would have been cool if they'd made the made-for-the-game robots at least upgrade, and then just give you tougher competitors from the show as it went on. But no. Oh, fuck you, Timsy, you made-for-the-game piece of shit. See, Panzer I can't disrespect, because Panzer was a champion in some of the things it did, you know.
I thought they were going to flip it.
That's a solid robot right there.
Sticking in to just slot the flipper under it and do its work. It goes underneath and lifts as it pushes, taking...
I do want to tip it over,
as it
though.
gets passed around the arena. Some injuries on the shoulder. All that pushing is
It's
doing
not top
something.
heavy, unfortunately. It's very well balanced. I'll give it that.
Coming into contact with the blade and
You ain't gonna push me, son.
Here comes the lance again, pushing and shoving. He needs something to push into his stabbing away with a spike. Watch out for those mines. In it comes for an attack now. It goes underneath and lifts as it pushes.
That saw sound is just so fucking piercing.
Around the arena.
But is it Jonathan piercing? That's the question. Who flipped that metal over?
Kilolot's grasp.
Okay, well that works. Well, the game decided he wasn't flipped over all of a sudden. That's good.
Here comes dead metal. And it could
That's
be
a sign of a quality product right there.
He's singing on the attack. Can they lift it though? They've driven straight.
Right, I need to get this fight done.
The chainsaw coming in for an attack.
Yeah, I knew we'd be coming up on that.
The damage is
How
only
does that run lower than my scoop?
clatters off the surface. Not strong enough to get through it, I think. They might want to
Like,
be careful.
just
with the
roll
metal
over and have it
there.
done
The chainsaw
already.
attacking. Can it cause some damage? Metal everywhere. And the crowd love it. The chainsaw tearing away, but it's only grazing and
cameras,
scratching
man.
so far. Need to get a better grip. The Kevlar, not the toughest armor against blades like this. The chainsaw skimming off the surface. Not even a scratch. The cracks will stop. They're removed.
Nah, they haven't.
The chainsaw attacking.
They're just on
Can it
fire
cause
or
some
something. That's all that's wrong. They're out of lubrication.
Better keep away from there. Sergeant Bash is waiting to cook. Who's the main
So honestly, I would recommend trying to find this game somewhere on the internet and trying to play it. Because I really cannot convey how shit the controls are in it.
Not a lot of damage so far.
What was that black perforating thing?
And stays it. House Robot has a red car.
I think they're dead. Can't move because the floor's not flat. Oh jeez, really? Oh, thank heavens. Because as you can see, we would have lost to the judges, even though we did most of the fucking work. We caused way more damage than anyone else, and damage was rightfully weighted at this time to count for more than everything else. In the rebooted series, it was control sometimes when the producers wanted someone else to go through.
Robot is ready. 3.
Largely because of favouring crushers. I mean, didn't they throw Ironside 3 out to let that shitty little fucking crusher in or something? That fucking android. On the basis that, like, Ironside, the fucking destructive bar spinner, is boring. You know, because bar spinners that break shit are totally boring, you know. Versus crushers that don't do anything, and especially relatively crap tier crushers. No disrespect to the team that built it, I've got nothing against them. Fucking Tauron got massively ripped off in that fight though. Everyone got ripped off by that fight. Yeah, come here. Don't do that. Basher was nowhere near you. Oh jeez. Damn, these fucking mines are dangerous.
The Kevlar taking a battering but holding up. Punching into the spike.
Yeah.
Small gouge out of it. Needs to get a bit more weight behind it.
Die.
More than scratch though. Looking like this Sundown. Cease.
The fuck?
And we have a winner.
That came out of nowhere. Also, I don't know why my robot suddenly shot backwards when I was trying to wedge that fucking obstacle out to push him on the mine. Because I didn't push backwards, I was leaning on forwards the whole time.
And we're looking for some carnage today. Well, the name says it all. Expect General Pandemonium. Confident contender here.
I will win or your bank account goes bye-bye.
2, 1.
We'll increase the interest on that loan you took out for the cameras.
Ready to deal with any trespassers.
Usury in its finest form.
You know what's good for you.
Oh, that's good. Well, in that case,
Stay light.
I'm going to.
As the flipper shows its intentions. Don't
Fucking
say
controls.
more. Punching in with a spike, and it's going to barge straight
They're not
into
going to be on there by the time I get up there.
looming up on it must look ferocious. Edging.
Bash, fuck off.
That time. Oh no! The siren
Seriously,
doors
fuck
have been
off.
activated. Keep away from the open doors.
Oh no.
There's no way
They
out
are
of
still
that
on there.
pit. Just a scratch at the last glances off again. Already
Ha 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 ha.
stuck in. Nothing serious. Cease. And we have a winner.
Forever. I always imagine that text. Have you finished repairing your robot in the voice of Philippa Forrester or Julia Reed? Not in the voice of Jane Mingamis, though, because nobody likes Jane Mingamis.
Welcome. We're anxiously waiting for the robot destruction to begin. Well, the name says it all. Expect general pandemonium. He's a robot that could do. Robot is ready. 3, 2,
Go
One.
fucking lord.
activate. Let the wars begin. A few holes appearing. Some chinks at least.
I was hoping I could knock it over and get the fight done really fast, but apparently that's not going to happen. Because iRobots have this weird thing where they consistently pull themselves on their wheels a lot better than everything else that you could ever do. Including if you buy the NPC robots.
Another small gouge out of it. Needs to get a bit more weight behind it to do more than scratch though. The whining krill approaching dangerous weapon, this one.
Get out of there then. Ah, don't you concern yourself with my tracks, Jonathan. There's nothing wrong with them. Oh, this camera blurs. Can I get a better one? No, that's worse. That's worse.
Hidden under there. In it comes for an attack now. Oh dear,
What the fuck is the AI even trying to do in here?
That flamethrower could be curtains and they end up down there. Hell of a drop. Titanium.
Is it just me, or has the frame rate generally sank a bit here?
They're trying hard.
I don't even know what settings I'm streaming in, by the way. I never checked.
Charging in to push it around.
So it might look really fucking, like, chunky.
Get back to your CPZ. The house robot deserves that yellow card. So Killalot won't be messed with. Better keep away from
Difficult
there.
shit to shove around.
CPZ, and he's not pleased. It's a yellow card for the house robot. Get back to your CPZ. Oh, that's a bit
Ah,
close to
tip it
Killalot
over.
for comfort. I can see some injuries on the ship.
There we go.
That pushes
That's what
it
I
to
wanted.
something. Trying to charge right in
Oh,
there.
shunt, get off. Get off! I'm gonna take risks. There we go.
And we have a winner in this head-to-head game.
Whee! Oh, the lag. I mean, would you have had a more powerful machine than this in 2002? Because I don't fucking think so.
Anxiously waiting for the robot destruction to begin. Well, the
I mean, we're in Pro Zero Hearts mode, man.
Think they have what it takes.
Should be walking it. Well, it is giving us 0 hearts, I guess. It's not lying.
3, 2,
I have no idea why it says that. Don't ask me.
activate.
Arenas of Destruction does as well.
Steady. Charge! Punching away at it with a spike. It goes underneath and lifts as it pushes, taking plenty of
Man,
punishment as it
it's
gets
starting to actually feel really disoriented.
Any obstacle they can find. Nothing damaging it so far. They've driven straight towards the CPZ! A practice spurt of flame from it there. Don't waste it, guys.
See, the AI's decided it's just going to chase Sergeant Bash now. And I don't like these corners because you can get pushed through the wall with the physics breaks.
Trying hard, but this is a tough target with the chainsaw, obviously. Tearing in. That's making it think
And there's no
twice
rhyme or
about
reason to
taking this
such
again.
physics
Using the
failures.
CPZs to do their job for them. It scrapes the armor. It manages a little damage. So there is hope yet.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on here.
Tearing as it spins. Some damage even against something this tough. From the
But yeah, you can
powerful
actually
sword.
disable the house robots with those mines. It's like the one time in the game, aside from maybe the final battle, where you can damage them.
Another small gouge out.
Like, they seem to be immobile to me intermittently. Like, if something broke on my robot like that in the game, I would be counted out in short order.
A burst of flame scorches across there. Difficult to burn into the titanium armor. Caught. Saw some sparks. They have burnt out the motor.
I think they have.
It's game over. Refbot counting them out. It goes underneath and lifts. Cease. And we have a winner in this head-to-head game.
Oh, that was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. See, as a fan of Robot Wars, I find this game highly insulting. Yep, now, the house robots can only be destroyed in the final round, like the final fight in competition mode. There's a cheat you can use to play as them, but they're damn near unusable. And the mines seem to kill them. The armor never comes off, but they start spewing smoke. Oh god, it's doing that thing again. Yeah, let me see. Can't remember if I already showed this, but I do still have a bunch of the stuff. Like, my badge was in here, but I've put it in my badge box. I don't have my remote control Matilda anymore, unfortunately, but that thing was pretty terrible anyway. So yeah, it's probably all still fucking worthless, this shit, but oh well. Now, this is Series 4 era merchandise. You can tell by like the design of it. Robot Wars, the Armageddon. Either way, that's there's no point me starting the machine again, really, is there? So, Banjo-Tooie with any luck next week. I know I said it'd be this week, but obviously I can't fuck my schedule up too hard because I've got places to be. Yeah, and obviously main channel still on fucking hiatus because I still don't have a fucking camera. I'll start looking into that next week as well, I guess, and see what I can do about it. It's pissed me off, and I just want to leave that subject alone for now. You know, I don't want to put any more time into it. And yeah, we'll probably never see Robot Wars Extreme Destruction on here again, because it's fucking terrible. And if any Robot Wars fans find this or watch through it, then yeah, I'm in the Tornado crowd, just so you know, so feel free to yell at me. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna bail out, so thanks for tuning in and shit. I figured I should do something, because, you know, I said I'll be doing Banjo-Tooie, and there's just nothing. You know, I figured I should stream something, even if it was just a little fuck about like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll see you around.